Hey guys, welcome back to the MCU HQ, and this is my review of episode Trace of What If. This one is called What If the World Lost Its Mightiest Heroes? And I just have to say, third time is the charm, Marvel. You finally did it. The first episode was fun, but it was really just First Avenger with role reversal. The second episode I did not like, and I kind of like it less and less as time goes on, but this episode, this is what I was hoping for in the show from the start. This is what I got. I dug like 98% of what they did with this episode. There was like one small scene that bothered me, but other than that, this is what I've been waiting for. And so what this is a Nick Fury, Phil Coulson, Black Widow-centric episode. Scarlett Johansson does not voice Natasha Romanoff. Lake Bell does, who I think did pretty good in this role. And so basically what's happening is a serial killer is hunting down everyone who's on the Avengers initiative list. And this is happening during Fury's big week, which if you're unfamiliar with what that is, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, and the modern day parts of Captain America the First Avenger all take place in a week called Fury's Big Week. And so during these events, a serial killer is going around and just trying to take out these heroes. And what we get is a pretty solid murder mystery. And honestly, when they tell you who did it, never would have expected it. There are a lot of familiar faces in this episode. 5 of the 6 Avengers. I'm not going to tell you which one's not in it. Loki is in it, but don't expect a lot of Loki. Most people thought this was the Loki on Earth episode. That's like a small part of this episode. He's a supporting role. He's not a main player. Then you get a lot of S.H.I.E.L.D. people returning. Frank Grillo even comes back for a bit. But it didn't feel crowded with all the people they brought in. I really liked how they included everyone, and I thought it was nice. And the best thing is that it's not a story saying the MCU, but better this way. It's a story saying the MCU, but it all goes to shit, which is what I was wanting from this show. Stuff like zombies, what happens in this episode, that's what I was waiting for. But also, even though If the World Lost Its Mightiest Heroes is the title, and it's, focused on an Avengers storyline, don't expect the Avengers to be the main players. Yes, you get cameos from the Avengers, but for the most part, Nick Fury, Black Widow, and Phil Coulson are the 3 main characters in this episode. And I like that it focused on them instead of the Avengers. I think that was a much better way of doing it. Of them, trying to assemble the Avengers instead of the Avengers already being assembled and just being killed. Overall, this is a good episode. I didn't want to get into spoilers there, so I kind of tried to keep it short and broad. I think this showed the potential that this show has. This is the episode I was waiting for to really sell me on the concept of this show, and now I'm into it. The first 2 didn't sell me, but this one did. I'm excited to see where they go from here. Okay, that's it for non-spoilers. So if you haven't seen the episode yet, go watch the episode, then come back and finish this video, because now I'm going to get into spoilers. I'm not going to touch on everything, but there are a few things I want to talk about. First, this episode has a bonkers kill count. I mean, Iron Man, Hawkeye, Black Widow, Thor, Hulk, all of them die. The only reason Cap doesn't is because he's frozen in ice the whole time. Because they didn't have a chance to dig him up yet. Although it's funny because they're in the Arctic. That's where they were. Everyone was in big jackets when they went there in the first Cap movie. Fury just goes in his normal clothes down into the plane. Not sure why. Where he finds Captain Marvel, by the way. Which was a cool little thing to include. The pager kind of, remind us of the fact that Captain Marvel exists at this time and she comes in at the end. They kind of end it with a thing like, where's the fight? So I think they are going to do a merging of timelines. So they can have Captain Marvel and Captain Carter. I think that's what they're going for. Not 100%. But I want to say that Hulk's death was brutal. He grew and then blew up. And I was like, oh my god. Also, it was only for a few seconds, but it was so nice to have badass Hulk again. Just beating the crap out of people, roaring. I missed it. And this is the first time that Banner has transformed into Hulk on screen in 9 years. The last time we saw it was in Avengers when he stopped the Leviathan, and since then it's been off-screen or it's been the reverse transformation. But this is the first time in almost a decade that we've seen him go from Bruce Banner to the Incredible Hulk on screen. It was an animated show. Can they do it in a movie? I guess they can't now because they've ruined Hulk's character. Damn it. But Loki comes to Earth, and I loved this because it's kind of a fake out. He brings all the Asgardian forces to Earth and the Warriors 3, and he's like, hey, someone killed my brother Thor Odinson, I want the body. And then later, he gets the body, and I'll reveal who it is in a sec, and then he's like, all right, I'm just going to stay on Earth for a while, and it cuts to him in the UN just taking over the planet. I love Loki. And like I said, non-spoilers, Loki's not a main player. I thought he was going to be when he showed up on Earth, but he wasn't. He said he'll give him until the next sunrise, and then he just sat in his ice castle off screen for a few minutes before Fury went to go make a pact. Because what happened, it took me a minute to catch on. It took me until they revealed it to catch on to what they were saying here. So Natasha is doing research and figures out that someone who's in S.H.I.E.L.D. would have to have knowledge of, someone with S.H.I.E.L.D. clearance would have to be the killer because, the Avengers files. And it's Hank Pym, because in this universe, Hope Van Dyne worked for S.H.I.E.L.D. She was killed serving S.H.I.E.L.D. And I guess her memory was just disregarded, and that made Hank mad. So he got the files on the Avengers and he was going after them, and Natasha figured that out. So as she died, she sent Fury a voicemail that says, it's Hope. And I was like, Hope, what does that mean? Totally forgetting that Hope Van Dyne's a character. And so then Fury goes to Loki's ice palace to talk to him. But they cut before the conversation and just cut to Fury at Hope's grave. And I'm like, oh, Hope. And then Hank comes in and he wants revenge, so he's just wiping out these Avengers. And man, his methods were pretty smooth. He went into the syringe that they put the antidote in Stark's neck and he just shot in there and killed Tony. He flew into Hawkeye's hand to get him to let go of the arrow to kill Thor. Then he went into Thor's brain, I guess. He went into Hulk's heart and pumped it full of something to just make it grow and grow. And then we see him kill Black Widow on screen. And yeah, I like this twist. This is what I want to see. It's Hank Pym, but evil. And you might be thinking, well, how come you like Hank Pym but evil, but not Thanos but good? I would like Thanos but good if it was its own episode. And not in an episode just to say, hey, so the Avengers that you know and love are actually really stupid. All they had to do was talk to Thanos and they could have avoided every single casualty. That pissed me off. But this is cool. And it didn't even hit me that Loki was cosplaying as Fury. Because he's kind of just zipping around the field. And I was like, what's going... Oh... So I did say in non-spoiler that 98% of the episode I liked, and then there's one scene I didn't, and that's when Coulson is swooning over Thor's corpse. Because he describes Thor as, I can't remember how he described him, but he says he's got beautiful hair. And him and Hawkeye are both kind of like, wow, he does have nice hair. But I thought I would end there. Then they're in the room with Clint and Thor's bodies. And Coulson, smells Thor. And he's like, oh my god, even rotting, he smells like lavender. And I was like, who wrote this? How did this get approved? And then he gets Fury to sniff him too. And then Fury leaves and it just lingers on Coulson while he takes another whiff of Thor's corpse. But that's all I have for this episode. I really loved it. And I do not know what the fourth episode is. I know what the first three were. I knew that because those had come out earlier. But the rest of them, I know what some of the episodes are, but I don't know the order. So it'll be fun to figure out next week what it is. So what did you guys think of What If Episode 3? Let me know your thoughts on it down in the comments below. Also leave a like on this video, subscribe, click on the bell icon to receive all notifications from the MCU HQ. That's going to be it. Have a great day, guys.